All right, here he is.
Yes, and he was. Hold on one second. Hi, can you guys come back around 4? Thank you. Bye bye. Sorry about
We'll cut that out. That's fine. We'll cut it out.
that. What was the question? I'm sorry.
Um, being a comic is to me like being a magician because, like you said, just up there, there's not really some great light show. There's no dancers. It's just you and the mic, and you don't really even need the mic. And somehow you get me laughing and dying, and I can't even control myself for 5 or 30 or 60 minutes or whatever it is. And I'm like, how did that time go so fast? Like, that was amazing. And like, it's like magic. Talk to me a little bit about you started there in the last answer, but like being a great stand-up and how you control the audience and the moment. And I mean, I see people like Chris Rock have there's very much a science to it. He walks, so he keeps you, and then when he does the punchline, he stands, right? So the stop, listen to this. Okay, now I'm moving. But there's a rhythm, there's a timing to it all. Like, talk about demystify that a little bit for me.
Yeah. No, Chris is great. And just being able to watch him and the genius that he is, I think that definitely helped elevate my brand of comedy as well. But yeah, it is. It's like you're a storyteller, and being Nigerian, it's like we know. It's like you sit down and they tell the story, and they're using their hands and they're using their eyes and their inflections, and you reel people in. You're just like, what else? And then what did he do? He's like, hey, wait, I'm coming now. Wait, let me tell the story. And you're like, okay. But it's just so engaging, and you're just like, I want to know how this ends. And for me, I do tell more stories than like zingers. Like I'm not like, and then a joke per second. I'm more like, follow me, just hey, walk with me on this. And I think one thing that I believe that I do well is like once I know something works, it's just like, and you try and you test it. It's like, hey, even if it feels like you're losing them, you're gonna get them with the punchline. So don't be afraid of their silence. Don't be afraid of their confusion. You got them. You're going to get them. Stick with it. And then it's just like, and then that's the payoff is greatest when there's a flip from confusion to a cacophony of laughter. It's great. It's great. And it's like, whatever that thing for me is, I used to not like silence on stage. I was just like, I like to come in. I like to come in like the Tasmanian devil. Like I'm just like, I don't know if they're gonna think I'm funny, but at the end of the night, they're gonna be like, well, that was a show. Yeah, no, I just was like, let's give them a show. Let's not let them have time to process. Just speed through this joint and like give it all you got. And not like hurry off the stage, but just like, I'm dancing, I'm singing, I'm vibing, I'm riffing, I'm doing all of this like that's my time, ladies and gentlemen. Good night. It's like, wait, what? Oh, okay, yes, she was good. And that like for me, that was because I was still afraid of comedy. I was afraid of silence because in my mind, silence meant you're not doing a good job. And I've since learned that no, silence is actually you're a good tool to lure them just right where you want them. And when you get them right where you want them, you hit them with the okie doke. And it's just like, it's phenomenal.
I mean, silence is scary, but it's also, if it's a real heavy silence, it means they trust you because they're listening and they're following you, right? If they were if you lost them, they would start chatting to each
Yeah.
other, right? And you hear that murmur, and now you're competing against noise, and like that's the worst, right?
Yes.
I've seen comics die, and I start talking to my friend, and I tune them out, and now you're really now you're drowning. But if
You
they're
just say,
silent, it's
just go.
different.
Yes. Yeah. At
Yeah,
that point, you should just be like, hey guys, well, this
yeah,
was
it's
great.
my time.
Yeah.
But if they're silent, they're like on the edge of their seat. They're like, okay, like you said, like with the kids, like, okay, what you got? What you got? I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yeah. It's a good tool. Like, I guess I don't lean into the silence all the time because I am my energy is so big. Like when I'm on stage, it's I want to have a party. Like I'm definitely I'm DMX on stage. Let's have a party. We're dancing, we're vibing, we're Harlem shaking. I'm giving you like I'm drained when I get off because I'm like I performed. I performed in a real like just an exercise of performing for you guys. And but I'm big energy and I expand that. I expound it and I like that. I love getting into the audience. Okay, so what y'all doing here? Okay, so which one of y'all really love each other? Yo, he hadn't told you, girl. He ain't told you. It's all right. Keep thinking that's your friend. You gonna be pregnant soon. It's just like, wait, what? And this is like, and then and then I get the crowd in on it, and it's like, how many of y'all got the same situationship? Okay, what's your excuse? And so it's just like now it's like, okay, we're in it, and I've everybody has something on everybody else. So now we're all good. Now we can just
Yeah,
receive. You know what I mean? It's just like I clowned you on this thing, I clowned you on that thing. I'm gonna clown myself on this thing. It's a safe space now. Like we don't have to. We don't have to be perfect. We can just be. We can just enjoy the fun because we're all in on it.
you're funny because you remind me of DMX. I did a story on him for Rolling Stone, and we're in LA, and he's driving this truck, and it's me, and I'm in the back seat, and there's two bodyguards, and we're driving down the road, and it's silent, and he looks in the mirror, and he looks at me, and he's like, "Yo, you can't fart in my car," and I hadn't. But what can I can't say I didn't. That's a punk thing to say. So I'm like, he's like, if you're gonna fart, at least admit it. But roll down the window or something. He's going at me, and the bodyguards are dying laughing, and he's doing this whole bit. And I don't know if he really thought that I had farted or if he was just going at me because he could. He's doing this whole thing attacking me for farting when I hadn't, and they're trying to act like they're not laughing, but they're dying laughing, which was funny watching these big giant guys like, and I'm like all traumatized. Like, did he really think that I did? Because that would be embarrassing. And I don't really want to say I didn't because that's a little baby thing to say. I'm just sucking it up. I'm just saying nothing. But he's like, I'm telling you, dog, don't be farting about shit. I'm like, oh my god, it was pretty. Yeah, I mean, like if I did the whole story, it was pretty funny, and it was very difficult to deal. Like when his energy is coming at you, it's very difficult to like get out of the way and like to deal with it. He was amazing. He was
Yeah,
amazing.
I want you to know that's one of the greatest compliments you could have ever given me. I remind you of DMX. I'm like, my job here is done. All is well in the world. God bless everybody.
What is your superpower? What is the thing you do better than other people that has led to your success?
I think those are two different things, but I think my superpower is, I think, my joy, my smile, my ability to freely give that joy, receive it, and like empower people to own their own. You know what I mean? Like it's just like if it's with a smile, if it's like, girl, you look beautiful. And most times when you say that, they're like, girl, this, I just walked out that. I said, you look beautiful. That's it. You're beautiful. Like, okay, that's from Ross. Well, shoot, what Ross you go to? I need to shop there too because that's amazing. Yeah, girl, you fly. And just like just own it. I want you to own it. Yes. And if it's Yvonne Orji told me I was fly. Yes, I mean it. Take whatever that you should tell yourself more often that you're fly. So I know that's something that I do very well. But the thing that has probably led to my success is I play my position. I play my position. I think a lot of people get in and immediately want to be in starting lineup. Maybe you might be on the bench. You might be on the bench. They have the 6-man award for a reason. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay. Because you're still a pivotal player. You may not be LeBron, but they still give the 6-man award. And you're not going to be there forever. Right now you're the 6-man. Tomorrow you could be the MVP, but play your position. And, you know, one thing that I was very conscious of doing, even when I stepped into the role of Molly, is like, yo, this is not my show. This is somebody else's vision. My job is to execute to the best of my ability to make it easier for them and everybody else to execute. Like, what takes people out of doing the work is like putting out stupid fires. Like, you know, that they don't like, okay, well, this person is complaining because they're not this person, and this person really wants to. It's just like, if everybody play their position, we can get to the task at hand, which is creating a really dope show. And finding honor in that. I think we've lost sight of serving as an honorable thing, because everybody wants to be leading. Everybody wants to be a boss. I'm like, okay, get you some employees, see how that work out. You know, it's like everybody wants to be the boss. It's like the boss costs. It costs to be the boss. It's sexy, but there's also glory in just showing up and doing a good job and going home.
Yeah.
And not having the overhead of responsibility. That's also honorable.
Did you